Hello and welcome to Reiki Women Podcast. My name is Carrie Varela and I'm here today with Nicole Pavlica. And she is a Reiki practitioner. She's going to chat with us a little bit about what drew her to the practice of Reiki. And Nicole is also just a multidimensional person. She is a VP of marketing. She works teaches at CU Boulder. And then she also owns and manages OmGirl Coaching, which is a holistic health and wellness service that she offers to the community. She recently studied Reiki, and she's somebody I like to call a Reiki enthusiast, somebody who just studied Reiki, learned a little bit more about it, and is excited to learn more. So thank you so much, Nicole, for being on the show with us today.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Share with me a little bit more. What drew you to the practice of Reiki?
Well, I had always been a fan of holistic and Eastern healing modalities and was really struggling with chronic pain that no amount of therapy or traditional Western practices was helping me with. And one of my support team members studied Ayurvedic healing, and she noted that the pain that I was feeling and the chronic pain that I'd been struggling with was energetic. It was associated with an energetic block. And that really coincided with everything that I had been hearing from a Western perspective, and that there isn't a, physiological cause for my pain, the chronic pain that I had. And this was really fascinating for me. And she offered to do Reiki for me and to help me on this healing journey and to experience the relaxation, but also the energetic shifts that come with Reiki. And after that first experience, which was profound and very difficult to explain, I was motivated to better understand Reiki and ultimately develop my skills as a Reiki practitioner. Not only to help others with similar issues, but also to help myself. And finding that I could practice Reiki on myself when I was having a personal challenge was really exciting.
Amazing. So did you feel like after one session or
No, I'm still struggling. I'm an overachiever in the trauma department, and I am working through a lot of different past experiences and pain that's been stored in my body. But also, I learned over the summer while I was working with a friend of mine who is an author, I understood the terminology of being an empath or being empathic. And this surprisingly was new information for me. And as I was learning about these sensitivities, I realized that I identified with them. And that was very powerful because I realized that some of the pain that I was carrying was not actually my own. And Reiki has helped me to better process the pain that I'm feeling because of stressors in my life and distinguish it from the pain that I'm carrying or feeling and sensing from others around me.
Yeah. That's so fascinating. And I totally relate to that experience with Reiki, that it just gives us that greater emotional intelligence.
It's almost
it's so
another
funny how we can pick up these. Oh, go ahead.
No, please, you go.
Oh, and it's so interesting how easy, how permeable our well-being and state of being is, our emotional and mental states, that they are so impacted by the people around us, our family members, the people we care about a lot, but also just random people that we get weird vibes off of.
Well, I'll be in I will be in a public place and be flooded with sensations. And Reiki has really helped me to center, to stay grounded, to align my own energies and maintain my own vibration amidst the chaos, if you will. So it has really helped me in that regard, but it's also helped me to recognize when someone who's close to me or someone in my professional life is struggling, but it's not apparent in behavior or communication. And I am learning how to interpret those feelings in my body and then have a mental health conversation with those individuals in my life. And it's been a great opportunity then for me to say, are you familiar with Reiki? Can I support you either as a coach or from a energetic standpoint? And it's really been powerful in terms of creating connections in completely different ways.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Well, you are a multi-talented woman who has this background in teaching. You have a background in marketing and a background in wellness as well. So can you speak a little bit to some of the pressures that you feel, society may have placed upon you, either in your professional or personal life, and how Reiki might be supporting you in that as well?
Sure. I think as someone who's juggling many hats, and I don't think I'm unique in this. I think many women in particular are carrying the emotional burden in their household, as well as the management assets, as well as trying to juggle their, being a partner, being a daughter, and I don't mean to be excluding males, but we wear many hats. Professional hats, personal hats, social hats, parental hats, etc. And literally the pressure is resting on our shoulders on a regular basis. And it's also easy to get really distracted and lose your grounding amidst all of the chaos or the demands in one's life. And as a female, I definitely feel that. And Reiki is a tool that I use to help me center back into my body and to reconnect with my ability to make very intuitive decisions and to settle the flutters that I might even feel in my own body because of the pressures around me.
It's amazing. It's a really amazing capacity to center, right? And I don't know, sometimes I think with an energy healing technique, it's or maybe describing Reiki as that, it doesn't leave us with the real power of the practice to bring us back home to ourself and to take refuge in ourself and find greater clarity about what's really relevant to us and what helps us feel centered and grounded in the midst of all the things happening in our life.
It's also been beneficial in moments where I feel a sense of lack of control in my life because there are so many demands at one time. And I'll also use Reiki not only to center, but to connect to others energetically, to ideas and concepts, and to feel connected to something so much greater. And what I have noticed is that by practicing Reiki and being very clear about my needs and intentions, that those things arrive in my life. And I think that Reiki helps me to physically, energetically shift and physically shift so that I can accept these gifts and these new experiences that ultimately move me further along the path that I'm on.
Mm-hmm. It's incredible. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of that, your experience of what drew you to Reiki and just how you've used Reiki in your life to help navigate as a woman.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, for those of you who would like to learn a little bit more about Nicole, I'll leave her contact information for OmGirl Coaching in the comments. And thanks so much for joining us and sharing your story with Reiki Women.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, of course. All right, folks. Well, thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next time on the Reiki Women Snapshots.